And Carlos looks like he's ready to take minutes in that computer.
No, I'm not good I'm not good for that one, but I can do it if you guys want it, but I'm really bad.
No, you wanna take minutes? Just
Never done it.
Well, here you go.
Did we just follow this format?
Yeah, like I would just make notes of a small note next to each one.
Right.
And then just type it up.
Okay. So let us know when you're ready.
And you, again, it doesn't have to be super detailed, it's like the
Mhm.
main idea. You guys are good.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're gonna take roll. Romy is not here. Carlos Padilla,
Here,
Matthew Casamiro is not here. Jose Young is here. Magali Tulio,
Here.
Manuel Perez,
Here.
Rafael Shook. Not here. Okay, so the order of business deferrals, additions and deletions. I don't think there are any, considering this is the first meeting on this topic.
Yep.
Seeing nobody here to present public comments, we can go ahead and get into old business.
And to be, just a note for all of you guys, we are now accepting public comments
Oh, okay.
online, but there's nothing online, so.
Okay.
you guys-
Perfect. So I guess this is old business, it's basically a recap of 2024's boot camp and the feedback. So, need more time to advertise, I think we can all agree. People love the content. If you guys have any comments on this, please let me know as we go through the list, because I'd like to take the notes now. And venue wasn't terrible, but would prefer an auditorium style venue.
do anybody have seen the United Bank? As it there?
I have not, nor do I know who to contact for that. Now that
I've been
Steve's.
in parties there,
Mhm. It's been a long time. I've
well,
been.
that was
Which one
years
was that?
back.
The
At the Bank United Corporate
Bank
Center.
I
United.
think at the corporate center on the west side, yes.
Okay,
Oh, the one here. okay.
Yeah,
By the side.
because they say that they have like an auditorium style,
That I've never seen. I've only seen,
that would be
the,
cool.
the open area.
Okay. We can reach out to Bank United to see what venue they have available.
Mhm.
And I'm sure we can confirm with Energy Mendes to see if that's an option. How did you guys feel about when we had it here at Town Hall?
The only problem was that the TVs, right? Because the TVs were one on the left and the other one was just where they were presented, because we were not able to go like
The
straight
TV?
face to the TV. So that's the only problem that we saw. And if it grows as it has been growing, it's going to be too small.
Well,
You
'cause
think
you
it-
guys do it during business hours, right?
Question for you. Do you think Energy Mendes, I think Energy Mendes is smaller than.
It was
Well, it's
long.
long, and as you meant, this is
I
large.
do, I still think it's smaller. I mean, we could check to see, but
the-
I wanna tell you that.
I like it here better. It's just matter of where everything stands, because for Warren Revolution, we cannot face the stands. You know, the podium and everything.
Mhm.
So because if we're facing that way and we can put TVs and stuff like that, I think would be perfect, because it's kind of like an auditorium style, like when they do the council meetings and stuff like that.
But it's not a TV in back of the dais. Okay.
So I have a question for you. Only, I remember seeing, but was there an issue with that? Cause I remember everybody facing the TV anyways, no?
The TVs were on the side.
Well, there's one on the side. There's one big one on the side, but there's two in front of them. People were facing the two in front of them, right?
So everybody was facing, like, if you're looking
The
into
two
the
TVs.
room to the left,
Yes.
Right,
there's,
which is where
I
the two
think,
TVs are.
there's
Mhm.
two TVs there, and I think there was another one
There is one on the side.
on the back side.
Yes.
On
which
the
is
back.
Technically in the back of the room,
But,
which ended up being on the side of everybody.
yeah, it ends up being on the side.
That's
Maybe
the only
answer is
thing,
shutting that one off.
maybe.
And like
That's,
that,
that's the
everybody's
only thing
focused.
they didn't like. I prefer here, I personally prefer here, and I think it's bigger, what you're saying, I think it's bigger. It's just that it was more comfortable in another setting, because we were expecting an auditorium. But when we went to Naja Mendez, it was the long thing with multiple
Right,
TVs. It was,
my issue with
yes.
Energy Mendes, and that's not, last year wasn't the first year we had it there, we had done it there.
Hmm.
Maybe like 2 years ago, and it's just way too wide.
yes,
And then you
Yes.
still have the people, There's still like,
Off to the sides looking.
and then
for it.
every, like, the
Right.
people looking off are way off into the distances.
Mhm.
And, human nature is for those people to like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Entertain themselves with something else if they're having a hard time focusing and seeing that, and there's no like elevation to where the point where, I don't know, to me, it's just, the room is not deep enough and way too wide. and
Yeah.
It just has that issue. So that was my
I
concern.
agree. I have a quick question. Is there a way that we can do something about it in here regarding I don't know, a projector or something, so it's facing the other way or?
We can always, off the top of my head, I mean, yes, we can always turn off the side one if that's an issue, but if you really just want everybody facing forward, like towards the dais, what I'm thinking is we can roll in. Like, like you can roll in.
Rolling the
or
TVs and
two, I
stuff like that?
guess.
Okay, and you guys have those.
But I
rollings
don't
to do?
know if we have that available. I'm just thinking of a solution. I don't know if there's gonna be a cost, because I don't know if we have that. Right?
Okay.
I'm sure,
I can find out.
nothing else, we can put, like, just.
Yeah.
Like a stand
Yes.
with a, one of those rolling things, and then just have a projector on there
Yeah,
with a person's computer. I don't.
like I know we have a projector, but do we have the back portrait? No, I don't know, because I think we normally would use those like against a plain wall, you know what I mean? But I can find out about the rolling TV option,
Yes.
if we have that.
The problem is, if a roll, like a bring-in TV, you, no matter what size it is, from the back, you wouldn't be able to see it. You kind of need like a projection on the wall or on some type of a screen.
Or a big TV.
You can't see that from the back.
But then where would you project it, right? Like to roll in a big projector, it's gonna take up a lot of that space, you know?
The projector, no, the only thing is where do we project it, because
Yeah.
on the back,
We got, we can, is that room open so we can take a look?
Yeah,
We'll check it out after the meeting, just to get an
Okay.
idea. And.
because
yeah,
I
that-
prefer.
those
here
are the
too.
things that we need to kind of figure out.
okay,
As it stands, Bank United, Energy, Town Hall, those are the three,
Okay.
or the two options that we've been to. Bank United, we could look at that option. And make a connection there and see who can help us out. I'm sure I can reach somebody there. And then the happy hour venue needed more life and a working AV system. I think if we have it at Bank United. Is that place isn't even open anymore, the place that we had it.
Well,
No,
that's-
it's closed.
no, it was closed.
It's
Maybe
closed.
Rolla.
Maybe throw us closed.
It's closed.
So another reason why I think having it here makes more sense is because I think the best place to have the thing is Chella's, which is right there.
People don't
It's
walk.
closer, it's a walking distance. People are not. By the time you get in your car, you're like, yeah, at
change
that
your
point,
mind.
that'll be what, you know,
You
like,
change your
like,
mind.
Yeah, my boy.
you can either drive home or you can drive to the thing, and you don't want people to have that option. You want people to just follow
Yeah.
the crowd to the location.
And,
So
and
that's
when
why I
we did
think-
it at Chella's, it was.
Excellent.
people
The
had
audio
a
visual
good
was
time.
perfect.
Yes.
You had a microphone.
We had a-
I think that worked a lot better. So I think,
Depends on where it's gonna be, we can figure. it.
right, but that's why, when you look at the whole picture.
I didn't go to the happy hour one that maybe throw out. What was the AV system used for? You just more for announcing?
No, it was because they had it, but they were not prepared to let us use it, so they say, okay, figure it out yourself. And we tried to kind of, but we didn't want to move too many cables and everything. So we decided not to do it that way. And that area and the ambience was kind of uncomfortable, so it was not a good place to.
so
kind
we
of-
just have to make sure to request AV from
Yeah.
wherever we're doing happy hour
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the guys from Java every time.
And again, I don't think being at the location, it's more just like a speaker
When
and
you
a
say
microphone.
AV, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't need a projector, we don't need.
Again, as long as we talk about it in advance, we actually have, the town has one, that's like a portable one, but big enough where you could
Ah,
actually.
okay, perfect.
For that amount of
If the
people, I
restaurant
think
doesn't
you
have
could
it,
do
we
it.
can bring it out.
We just need an outlet. and that's it.
Okay.
Okay, need a water sponsor next time, so. We need to have drinks available for people. So that's something that we'll have to figure out. Virtual queue for questions. I'm not sure if. You know what she meant by that.
I think what she was, because there was, here is the situation, right? A lot of people were not, because we were so crunched at the time. There was a lot of questions that people wanted to ask, but nobody was able to answer because we only had a very short answer and question section. So I
Okay.
think if we have it virtual, and let's say they start asking questions, and Romy is answering them virtually.
That's an option.
That's an
Okay,
option. Or timing it wisely that everybody have a 5 or 10 minutes questions.
So just to give you guys, well,
Feedback.
a little bit of research that I've done recently, last year or earlier, last year after ours, I think I went to the one in Coriolis. They had a similar thing. They're started in the afternoon. I can give you guys the notes on that if you guys want, so you guys can see them. Then last week or 2 weeks ago, I went to one that was being hosted by the city of Doral Economic Development Committee. And the way they had it is the individual speakers went up for about 8 to 10 minutes. And basically it was just to like pique the interest of the people. And then they came, then after the event, before the happy hour or in a break, they had time to go outside to where the sponsored tables were to ask those questions individually, because not everybody's question pertains to everybody else. So that's something that we can consider. That's the route we want to go. Obviously, we gotta figure out kind of how we want to set the lineup.
Yes.
And then if that's something that we want to do and how, and what do we want to gear the lineup to? Is it,
Or let ask them to do the answer and questions individually through the happy hour.
right, yeah, like,
Yeah.
make it more of like an open networking thing where
Yeah.
you know who the people, like, make sure that the individuals who are speaking are present, like, after the
After
thing,
the thing.
outside the area for
Yes.
individual questions, and also at the happy hour.
Because in
Okay.
both events, most of the speakers have been gone.
Right, that's the
Yes.
thing.
They live.
Maybe
Yeah.
getting, right, that's one of the things that,
Mhm.
again, this particular panel, and I'll tell you who was on it. Obviously, the first person that spoke was Manny Sid from the Miami-Dade Office of Innovation and Economic Development, so we have to talk to him, but I guess he's kind of running that Strive 305
Yeah.
program, so he was there. A gentleman from Dade County Federal Credit Union, kind of going over small business lending, like below the bank level, like this is kind of like entry level small business lending. Ascendus, Miami Bayside Foundation, these are for the most part, Propera,
Yeah.
nonprofits that lend to small business. So it's a lot geared to either grants or for small business. Maybe we don't want to do the whole thing like they did, but it's an option. And again, a couple of other people. And the last individual was a gentleman that I was like impressed with, who's a gentleman who basically they do business contingency planning and business continuity planning and stuff like that. And they actually donate. He actually donates, I think it was like, I forgot the number, but a certain number of like business valuations
Okay.
for free to the city of Doral for them to give to participants that are attending. And when I spoke to him, I thought one of the viable options for this would be to kind of maybe potentially link this in with our Best of Miami Lakes, 'cause I know we want to tie in Best of Miami Lakes,
Mhm.
kind of like as a part of,
Far up, yeah,
if he's donating those
valuations.
$2,000 to $5,000 cost business valuation, he's donating
Mhm.
however many of those to the town of Miami Lakes. We want to give them out to, let's say, I don't know, do you know exactly the Best of Miami Lakes, how many categories, how many winners
I
are
think it's
on it?
about 6 to 8. I'll tell you right now. Let me
Yeah.
put it.
Mhm.
One of the ideas that I had is giving them out to the winners,
To the winners.
right? Announcing it there, having them there to receive it,
Yeah,
and also raffling them off to the participants.
I agree, I agree.
And I think if you're telling people, hey, listen, one of the sponsors is giving away,
Yes. A lot of more people will be entitled to come to.
right? Because if you're
Yes.
thinking, well, I'm gonna go to attend this thing,
Yeah,
but I have the opportunity of them giving me something for free that costs
yeah,
$2,000 to $5,000, depending on the size of your company, it might be
yep,
more enticing to get. And I think what we want is more
People.
people.
yes.
Sorry.
No, no, don't return.
Payroll emergencies wait for no one.
Yeah, I know, we realized when you sent me the voice something.
Yeah.
So it was eight
Eight,
categories.
okay,
8 categories?
Yeah.
guess I can turn over the floor to you now. Okay, we I guess I'll
Have you checked
recap
off
you.
my beautiful agenda?
Yes, it's beautiful. Need more time to advertise, we
All agree?
agree, people love the content, the content was not an issue, that was fine, we can think about what we're gonna do this year, obviously. Venue wasn't terrible, we listed 3 options, Bank United, Energy,
And town hall,
and
good.
then Town Hall.
Okay.
A happy hour venue needs to have more life and a working AV. Some of us are kind of leaning more towards Town Hall if we can make that work with Chella's as the venue sponsor, just because of the location. I think the minute people have to get in their car to drive to the other place,
I'm not familiar with the Bank United venue, but how, is that within walking distance to anything?
I don't think anymore they are.
Oh, shoot, that's right.
Not
RIP
anymore.
the Tribble.
RIP, which one was right? So, again, that's not gonna be the only factor. Maybe Bank United is available, maybe they're not, maybe the venue works, maybe it doesn't, we gotta
Yeah,
figure that out.
I've never even seen it, so has anybody seen Bank United, the auditorium?
Nobody here.
We've been.
We keep talking about it,
Yeah.
and nobody actually knows what it looks like.
I've been there, I've been there, I just been a
We
while.
take a field trip there to say, hey, can we check out your auditorium?
I'll contact somebody there and.
And just say, is it, you know, are they open to entertaining
I
it?
just
And
think-
Steve is not there anymore, but you know.
Even when Steve was there, he never brought that to the table.
Right.
But I think because they had just hosted one
They
there.
did.
That's how
exactly.
we got to
It's
this
true.
place in the first place. They had just done it. So then Steve was like, why don't we replicate it? The first year that we did the boot camp, which was the first, so 2 years ago. So last year was the
It's true.
2024 boot camp, so the 2023 boot camp. Earlier that year in the summer, they had hosted, Bank United had hosted their own seminar that we basically copied our version in their auditorium. That's how this all started. So I think that's why he didn't ask, because, you know, it's like back to back.
We can ask.
I mean,
I
if
know-
we have a contact that we can
I
ask,
have plenty
be
of
great.
contacts at Bank United.
great, okay.
Okay, so then the happy hour venue obviously will depend also, you know. We'll
But
take
where
the
it is.
age into
Right,
consideration, but
right.
the water sponsor we confirmed.
Right.
The virtual queue for questions we discussed,
Mhm.
and then, I was just telling them, I've gone to a couple of these. Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce and Doral Economic Development Committee.
Mhm.
And we can kind of get some ideas from there. The one in Doral basically had all these people speaking for about 8 minutes. And then afterwards, the Q&A was at the individuals, like these people's tables outside.
Oh, that's cool.
So that you can ask them a direct question, right? The only thing that maybe this works for us, or maybe it doesn't, this is mostly like small business finance related. So if we think that that's the only thing we want to cover,
No.
or maybe we have less of these people,
Yes.
right? That's an option as well. And this individual I actually met with afterwards. The name of the company is Platinum Business Solutions, and they actually donate as part of their involvement with the economic development for the city of Doral. They donate 100, I think it's 100 a year, free business valuations.
Oh, that's cool.
So he was willing to donate a certain amount to us. I told him, listen, Miami Lakes is not as big as Doral. I don't think 100 is the right number. I was thinking more something for us to be able to give away to a select few participants that attend, kind of like as a raffle. And then we were contemplating giving it away to the winners of the Best of Miami Lakes.
Cool.
So in addition to the recognition and
I
whatever,
think that
they
would be
get
great.
That's
a
really
free
cool.
business valuation worth $2,000 to $5,000, depending on the size of the company. Can't hurt.
But we give that to the town of Miami Lakes winners, so that doesn't,
There's 8 of those.
right, but it doesn't encourage participation in the boot camp.
Sure, he donates 15 or 20 of those free
Oh,
business
okay, got it,
valuations.
and the rest would be raffled
Right.
off at the
We
boot camp, okay,
announce,
cool.
we announce, maybe I don't know. I'm thinking announcing the Best of Miami Lakes winners there, which will bring more people to the event. And
Yes,
also, we can award them their
Yes.
certificate of the free business valuation there, and then also raffle some of those out to.
yes,
Right,
Yep.
and then we can get with him to get a number.
I think that's great.
He's willing to come out to visit one of our EDC meetings and have, give us a little bit more information, but that I thought was a viable option.
I think that's great, yeah. And yeah, that's what we meant by Best of Miami Lakes. So Best of Miami Lakes, I know we're kind of taking it back, but those, that announcement of like the winners It happens, I think we agreed that the boot camp should be in September, based on the last meeting minutes, I think it was. And Best of Miami Lakes gets announced, I think it's in October,
We do it like for Small Business Saturday around there,
which is
like November.
November. Okay, yeah, so then we present the lineup of Best of Miami Lakes at the boot camp. Is what I think we had talked about.
Okay.
So like at the boot camp, we highlight, hey, these are, all these guys are nominated. We kind of give a boost to Best of Miami Lakes, so everybody gets involved and, gets announced. We can highlight the fact that this is one of the new awards for Best of Miami Lakes winners, and in addition to that, raffle off some additional ones at the event.
So
after.
just to make sure, so the first round would already be over at that.
I don't know what the Best of Miami Lakes order is.
So I think it's 2 rounds. The
Okay.
first round is everybody just,
Random
puts in the
nominees,
name.
right?
And then the second round is, okay, these are like the finalists. So let's say it's 4 for each category, and now
Mhm.
you're picking the winner from those 4.
So it's perfect. So then by the time that we have the boot camp, the finalists will be up and everybody's voting on the finalists.
Okay.
Right?
So you announce the finalists.
Correct.
Not the winner.
Exactly. Yep.
Don't we want the finalists invited to the event?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay,
we
but she
want
said
the final.
announce the finalists.
So
No. We wanna highlight the finalists.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Right, so
want to know the
ideally, it would
finalists
be-
like a few weeks before they.
Mhm.
Right, so that we can invite the finalists and they can attend the boot camp in theory.
Mhm.
And then we'll let them know that obviously the winner, in addition to being actually named Best of Miami Lakes in their category, would get this as a potential prize.
So we
Correct.
so we are moving the timelines. I just want to be clear then. For Best of Miami Lakes, we're moving it like 2 months.
If it can
or-
be.
Yeah, right.
Ideally,
November.
so standard Best of Miami Lakes timeline is what? Is
I don't know when the first round goes out. I have
Okay.
to double check for you, but I know that we announced the winner in November, so that finalist round is happening end of October.
End of
beginning
October.
November.
okay.
Yeah.
Do we move the boot
I
camp
mean,
to October?
I think October is fine for the boot camp or September. I think September or October, either one is fine. I feel like, early October, do we compete with a lot of stuff?
I think that the only thing that why we didn't do it, I think it's because of the budget.
Fiscal year,
not
The budget.
yeah.
The budget.
October 1st starts a new
I
fiscal
don't
year.
think we did it because of that, but it was convenient that we were doing it in September, so we could just cash out the whatever we could on the budget.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's
so,
to say right now, you wouldn't have had anything fall into this budget. right?
correct, exactly.
Just so we're.
So that's the only, good call on that, Carlos. I think it would be really cool. And again, this would have to go with Best of Miami Lakes. It would be super cool if we could announce the finalists at the boot camp. Because our idea last year to involve Best of Miami Lakes is to send like an actual invitation to all who are nominated in Best of Miami Lakes. So that if we're gonna announce the finalists at this event, it gives them more of a reason to attend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But when you say announce, really, you're announcing it to the public, but not the business would already know, because that's why they're there, right?
No,
Or
she's
no?
saying,
You're saying invite,
Anyone who's, so I don't, so for example, right now, are we in like an open nomination season right now for
No,
Best
no,
of Miami Lakes?
not
No,
yet.
not yet, okay. So open nominations open, right? Anybody can write in anyone, correct?
is my understanding.
I think so too. So at that point, let's say, I don't know, a month out from, oh, here it is, okay.
Sorry, so the finalists were announced October
October
30th.
30th, okay, yeah, so we would be moving this up, like, let's say we did it late
Month.
September, we'd be moving it up by a month, yeah. So if we could announce the finalists at the boot camp, I think it would give, everybody who's nominated much more of a reason to attend, because they know that the announcement is happening live at that event, it makes it exciting. It also gives the people of the town more of a reason,
And
because
a
it's a
lot
town
of
event.
those businesses will be
Exposure.
benefit from.
Correct, and a lot of the businesses will benefit from the content, which would be really cool. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to happen that way. We could still just use it as a platform to,
Then-
push.
who do we, so the voting is out there.
Mhm.
They're starting to collect the votes. They haven't decided who the finalists are.
Nope,
How do we invite those people who we don't know who the finalists are?
we would invite
Yeah,
anyone who's
everybody.
received a nomination.
Okay.
Yeah, we would
Does that
invite
seem-
anyone who's
does that
received a
seem feasible?
nomination, like,
Yeah, yeah,
You've
You
seen what
can-
these votes look
yeah,
like. Does
like-
that seem feasible?
Yes, you'll be nominated.
It was Jonathan who had looked at
Oh.
that again, to be completely honest with you, so I don't know, but, let me see if I can pull up the data of
We-
who was
I
nominated
think it
before
works, I
the.
think,
I mean, if it's feasible, great. If you guys get like a gajillion nominations, that it would be too much to do individual invitations for those guys. I think we could just advertise on our marketing. You know, at this event, this is happening. Best of Miami Lakes finalists will be announced live. You know what I mean? So we could just put out there in the
Mhm.
marketing that this is happening as well,
Correct.
to make it more of an event. Again, if the timeline is feasible. If the timeline's not feasible, then, you know.
But I
it
think
is what
it
it
will
is.
be great because it will help out a lot of those
We
businesses.
did the EDC boot camp last year on,
10-15. No,
no, it was in September.
September.
was it September?
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's see.
That was a feedback.
No, 10-15 was when we have the meeting that these
Yeah.
minutes, that these comments are from.
Got it.
It was, hold on, I'm looking here.
So then we're gonna announce, we're gonna invite the finalists in September and then announce them.
Like,
Invite them.
I'll say that to do it at the latest, like, let's say September 30th. The event and announcing the finalists, so they have 2 times to vote or 2 months to vote and stuff like that. Because November is when usually they select.
yeah, we'll still have the winners announced in.
No,
They
Small
said they
business
announced it on October 30th.
No, those were the finalists, right?
We announced the finalists October 30th, and then the December 2nd was the date for
December
for the winners.
So assuming December 2nd is still the timeline for the winners, we could just announce it at the end of September
Mhm.
to give people more. And then we can announce who the finalists are, or we'll just invite, yeah, we're inviting.
Well, all
Everybody-
everybody that got
everybody-
nominated.
Everybody got nominated, would be
Yes.
invited to the boot camp.
Correct.
Mhm.
If you got nominated, you're
And then the
invited.
finalists will be announced at the boot camp. We
Yes.
push the boot camp till
And
Yeah,
that, and
September.
I think that will serve.
the last Saturday. or last
We
Friday.
did the boot camp on the Friday, the 20th of September, the 20th of September. Is when we did it last year.
So if we do it Friday was
The
okay
last-
for
this
everybody,
year
right?
was the last Friday of September.
This year, the last Friday of
26.
September, yep, that sounds about right.
Friday 26th.
Yes,
you go.
Friday, the 26th is the last Friday of September. I don't think there's any holidays that day.
Nope.
On Monday, there's no holidays.
The 29th,
No.
just Google here.
My sister birthday.
I don't think so.
No, we're good. Yeah, I think that kind of timeline works.
Mhm.
Labor Day is September 1st. Nope, we're good.
And if we were to do that, how soon would we have to start putting out the best of Miami Lakes?
I have to check with the team to see how much time they put it out.
Okay.
Like how much is that first round essentially? Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Now, there is something also that we want to consider. I know that we did it for the budget, but if everything is paid by the 30th,
We could do it in
we
October.
can do it.
Agree?
Finance may have a problem.
Really?
Mhm.
Even if it's
It's
paid in
a
advance?
Let me find out for them. I think sometimes it depends on what it is. Like if it's an item that's gonna be used throughout different events, then yeah. But if it's something that's very specific to that date,
Mm,
I know that they may have problems.
mm.
But I say that we're only gonna push it back to,
Like a week or two, so it's
yeah,
fine.
so.
Yeah, let's do it as the 26th.
Why stress
Why
the
stress
finance
finance?
team
Okay.
over 2 weeks,
Yeah,
Okay.
right? When I think that leaves still 2 months.
I mean, it wouldn't be 2
the
weeks, it would be 4 weeks, because they announced at the end of October, so it's moving the Best of Miami Lakes timeline up 4 weeks.
Right.
Yeah,
If you want, let me get some feedback from them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I guess you guys can decide based on.
yeah, I think the 26th should be work,
Okay.
should be fine too,
That
because
means
it's only one
At least
month.
within the budget and.
so you know, as a plug to Best of Miami Lakes, this would get them a lot more exposure. Cause you know, a live announcement of the finalists at an in-person event, that's sponsored by the town, that's a big deal. Cool.
So the best of Miami Lakes, folks will be invited
We,
to the event.
So all
To the boot camp,
nominees,
all
all nominees will be invited.
First Origin gets 100 nominations.
To boot
and
camp.
XYZ Warrior Company gets 1.
For
You're
the
right,
live
inviting.
You're both
announcement.
correct.
They both invite.
I know.
At that
We-
event, they'll not.
We
they'll
had
say
10 more
goodbye.
minutes, so we just had to, because
Yeah.
at 6:30, they.
Yeah, they need the room.
Okay. So just, these were just comments and feedback from the last one. Really, like, if we want to jump to new business, the event date, so I think we just checked that off. So we're looking at September 26th,
Mhm.
2025. Excellent. So that's Friday, September 26th, 2025. So this we do backwards. So speaker headshots and titles, approved marketing, and final speaker presentations. Speaker presentations, I always ask for like 30 days in advance, just to make sure that we have time because people will be late. So if that is September 26th, then they need to give us the they need to give us their speaker presentations by the last Friday of August, which is the 29th of August. So final, so that's August 29th. Approved marketing or headshots and titles. I think we would want to market this. I think we said at least like 2 to 3 months was the biggest change that we wanted to make. So if we want to market this for 2 to 3 months, that would be August, July, June, May, right? At the latest May, before people check out for summer.
May, yeah, by May, we should have all the.
By May,
approved
we should have all
marketing
the collateral,
flyers
right.
and everything.
So that we can just advertise, because realistically, June and July are very quiet months, so if we're consistently pumping out May, June, July, August.
Mhm.
August is really where we're gonna market the
Market.
most, but start throwing things out since May. So we would need speaker headshots, titles, and logos and stuff by
May
May 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so May 1st.
That's for all three of those, right?
Mhm.
Hold on,
No.
so no.
May
that-
1st for
Or
the,
actually, no, you're right. So May is when we want to start advertising, so April. So we need collateral by April to give whoever it's gonna be, AC Graphics or whoever, a month to put the stuff together, and then we can start sending it out in May. So this is,
no, because from May to September, we got 4 months. So if we get everything on May,
okay,
then we had 3 months for advertising.
okay.
Yeah, so if we get the headshots on the day you say,
That's the thing is, that I wasn't, I was saying May because June and July, like, realistically, it's very quiet. So
Right.
even if we advertise June, July, August, okay, but no, but we have until September. Oh, no, you're right.
And it's the
Okay,
end of
so,
September.
you're right,
2
right.
months, August
Okay.
and September. All of
So
them
May
until
1st.
September.
okay, so
May 1st, the speaker headshots and titles.
And then approved marketing, May
At the
30th,
end of May 30th.
May
yes.
30th,
Mhm.
okay,
For the second one.
Yes.
all right, perfect, okay. Venue options, so we know what options we're looking at, so we're looking at, Bank United.
Energy and Town Hall.
For Anna G, I mean, we can talk more about this at the next meeting, I'll consider a different configuration, different from last time. The only one Anna G was that it was just so sterile.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anything we could do to,
Then
and
Yeah.
I don't think that we can do anything.
I don't think we can, yeah,
Yes. I don't think they will give us another room or something.
yeah.
I like the chairs and stuff, but
So let's make it a goal that before the next subcommittee, which will be a month from now, if we can take a field trip to Bank United. Maybe
And-
Jose, you can try and collaborate
Yes,
that,
and we-
and either you go and take pictures, or you go and let us know, and we can meet you there, just to check it out.
I'll set the time,
Mhm.
let you guys know a week or
I'll
two in
hold
advance.
council chambers for that date, just.
Okay.
in case.
With
Perfect.
council chambers, I didn't mind council chambers. I thought it was cool. I thought it was very official. The only downside to council chambers that I really didn't like was that council chambers, we set up the room where the council, elevated seating is here. And then the TVs are on the opposite wall. The people were facing this way. So if you wanted to look at the AV, your neck was 90 degrees the entire time.
so
Your
we,
neck was facing that way the
we
whole
talk
time.
about it before you come here. We're
Mhm.
gonna go take a look
Mhm.
and see. They may have rolling TV things to put it the other way.
Okay,
And that
cool.
will help out to fix it, but we're gonna go take a look to see if there
So
is.
that's where the meeting is starting now. I mean, you guys can go in, it's a public meeting, but I'm just warning you.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
just look.
I guess
Okay.
the only other thing that would be important just to get things rolling, that we wanna start deciding on, maybe for next meeting, and we can spend the majority of the time next meeting on this, is the theme.
Yeah.
So last year, we thought about, you know, if I was a business owner, like, what do I wanna know? How do I get money? How do I not get in trouble with the state of Florida or the IRS? We talked about, how do I market my business, right? Yeah.
I think we should leave it like that. We just make some few adjustments
Mhm.
of, like, for example, the one from Prosper, I think. is
That
the-
was the one that
Yes.
I was not a fan of, which I
That-
thought it was funny that he was on that flyer
Uh-huh.
too.
So those, like, I think the little changes, but I think all the content, I think was great.
I mean, we got really good feedback on the content,
Yeah, so
truly.
I think that
Yeah.
the content was good, the
Mhm.
presenters were good. I think it was good. One of the things that he mentioned that you were not here before too, is that all the speakers have to also go to the happy hour so they can also answer questions there,
Mhm.
because one of the issues we have here is that we didn't have enough time for people to ask questions.
Yep.
So we just had to figure out either we put more time for questions
Mhm.
after each section, or we do the live questions and anybody's can answer in those right there.
Yep,
Or also the thing that they go to the other side.
okay, cool.
Okay,
So I guess we just, need to brainstorm a little bit for the next one on some topic suggestions. I had here from our comments on last year in October, those three. Operational efficiency, accounting, and work opportunity tax credits. Those are three topics that came up that we could, bring into this year.
okay,
So, accounting basics 101. I can't tell you how many business owners I meet that don't even have their basic books in order.
right.
So like they just think money in, money out, like, no, that's not
Yes.
how it works.
Mhm.
Operational efficiency.
Yeah.
We know an operational consultant, Alan's brother. Alan Gonzalez, Motor Breeze's brother, he's an operational consultant, like the way that I'm a business consultant for payroll and HR, he is a business consultant to make you as efficient in your operations as possible. So. Not the attorney, the other one, the one that came to our meeting at La Frega a few times, said he was gonna join, but then didn't, that's kind of like the Gonzalez brother MO. So him, or maybe it's not his brother, but maybe it's like his best friend or something, but it's Alan's guy, operational CFO. And that's what he does, like you can hire him to tell you that you can, you can hire him to tell you how to become more efficient, so that's an opportunity there. Work opportunity tax credits, I can present on, I'm fluent in that, if we want to stick to that topic.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, accounting, now we have Shook. So we could ask Shook, but, yeah,
I
So-
think so too.
Yeah.
Subcommittee tax obligations, so.
although to ask Shook to consolidate accounting into a 13-minute presentation is like asking him to. It's like asking him to put, like a pirate ship in a little bottle.
Let's decide on the next date, so we can go over all the other details, right?
Okay.
So it should be like in a month, April, I think it should be fine, because in the April one, we can finalize everything, so then they have a month to be able to do all the flyers and everything else that we need to do.
Okay. Okay, so if we did, Tuesday, not April 15th, that's tax day, that'll be bad. So April 8th. Is this room available? Anybody have a hookup with 1910? The new people at 1910?
Tico does.
Tico?
Yes, I have met them briefly, but I know them already who they
Yeah,
are. and
we're
stuff like
gonna
that.
the soft opening.
Okay.
What times are you guys looking at?
6 o'clock would be much easier for me to make this meeting, but if we want to stick to 5:30 and I'm afraid that payroll's process on time, then that's fine.
So I have to get back to you on that because you guys are choosing planning and zoning dates. That's why.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I know that we try to stay away from
The
having
first Tuesday.
meetings overlap.
Is that because it's a Tuesday or is that just the day it falls on?
They do second Tuesday of the month
Okay,
normally.
I mean, we don't have to meet on the second Tuesday, we can meet another.
No, it's just April 8th is.
What about Monday, the 7th, or the following Tuesday is tax day, that's a bad day for me.
Like the 15th. You sound.
Yeah, well, then we'll get it together, that's fine.
File an extension.
Yeah, we'll do extension.
April 7th, 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. See? Yeah, okay, so April 7th at 6.
That's just,
Next, sorry,
April 7th?
See,
so.
But at 6 p.m.
What do I write?
Marani, what's your Bell South email? I forgot.
And who we are in.
Thank you. Yeah. Perfect. So, we've got the next subcommittee date. So just task delegation, Jose is gonna check out the venue. Everybody start brainstorming on topics, you know, potential speakers, if you know people. I think one of the best things that we did for last year compared to the first year, we did a lot of, oh, you know, we want this topic, so we know this person that can speak on it. And it wasn't very engaging. Last year, Carlos and I were really big on, who do we know that can present well? And what topic can they talk about? And we had really good presenters for the most part.
And it was more practical.
And it was more practical. So I think that was a good strategy. So who do you know that does business, right? That can speak on a general business topic? Like, for example, I think it would be a good opportunity to do maybe some kind of legal business advice. Melissa's a great presenter. And, you know, and we invite Melissa, you know, like, I think things of that nature, like thinking the other way around, like, who's a good presenter? What business topic do they master? And can we make it fit into a cohesive agenda? I think that would be smart.
If you can send us the last agenda, will also
I
help
can't
us,
find it. Why am I having such a hard time finding it?
or help us remember, you know,
Mhm.
where all the technical
Because I know we
topics that were
had
discussed.
some that were like a panel,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that worked well,
Yes.
and I think it's good to have
A break.
some speakers that
Mhm.
are gonna speak by themselves, and then some that are more of a panel.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like understand, especially if you have like 2 or 3 in the same field,
Mm-hmm.
that can be kind of like a panel,
Okay, so this is, I'm just trying to see
instead of giving them
where.
10 minutes each, because that.
Here it is.
Mhm.
Which one?
The agenda
year's
that we
agenda.
did, last year's agenda.
Oh, last year.
Found it. I'll forward it to you guys. Do you have a copy of it, Al? I can forward it to you.
Forward it if you want.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so this was it for last year. Okay, here it was. So it was from solo to squad, navigating compliance as your business grows. That's the one that Suhail and myself did. So that was about compliance, HR, etc. Show me the money, a panel playbook for small business capital. So that's where we had Jose, Propera, and Jessica jumped in at the last minute, right? Mhm. And then you moderated it, Carlos, which I thought was great because the moderation, the questions that you had prepared were really good. Then we had Socialize Your Biz, which was Tico and his SEO guy.
Yeah.
Then we had Growing Beautifully, doing business in the town of Miami Lakes, which didn't end up being what we originally thought it was gonna be. Maybe you can advise if that would be feasible for this year. So ideally, because we're doing it in Miami Lakes, we want to plug Miami Lakes, like, why is this a good place for doing business? We wanted to have someone from the town that was like expert on permitting and all that stuff, kind of like walk the
And you need
potential
at least-
business
Yeah,
owners
you
through
need to
that,
have-
right?
You have to have that.
Just like and it was going to be Angel, I think it
Danny.
was, or Danny,
Yeah.
Danny Angel, and then at the last minute, he was just like, no, I'm unavailable. So we had to pivot very quickly, and it became more of like a very nice, my experience in doing business in the town of Miami Lakes by Ray Palacio, and Andrea gave us like a little history of the town of Miami Lakes, which is
Yeah.
great, but it wasn't like really hard-hitting business advice, which is what we wanted.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
I mean, if Danny doesn't want to do it, we're not offended, but he can't flake on us on, the week before like he did last time. So if not Danny, who? Or maybe now that he's not mayor anymore, maybe Danny Sin's schedule is more
Yeah,
open.
and also he has a business here and he can go talk about it. That,
Or maybe
all
you
the
could do
things.
it, because hello, you know perfectly about what it's like to open up a business.
And especially in permits,
I'm-
especially.
My first nomination, which is Carlos Padilla, serial entrepreneur on, the roadmap to opening a business. I think that would be a great panel. So that's my first contribution to this agenda.
Alright.
So Carlos, you've been upgraded from moderator to speaker.
A speaker.
No,
I
prepárate,
can ask questions.
prepárate. And then we had, Patrick, Tico's friend, give like the motivational
It
closing
was
speech,
very
which was
good.
awesome.
It was very good.
He went, lessons learned on the road from rags to riches, which I thought was really, really cool. I don't know if we know anyone else that, is kind of like at that level.
I'll bring you back. It
Yeah.
was good.
Patrick was great. I would repeat Patrick again too in a heartbeat. Just to open it up to others if we know anyone else that we think, could give a good chat like that. Somebody who's had a business, maybe sold it,
Mhm.
or expanded significantly. Anybody that comes to mind like that?
I think a good speaker or someone to speak about the business would be like Alex Crespi.
Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, Alex could totally talk about, efficiency, like working on your business
Yeah.
versus in your business. That's a good topic.
That Lakes Orthodontics.
Is a machine.
Well-oiled machine.
That's a great point. Okay, so let me put it
You don't
here.
wait more than 30 seconds in the waiting room, which is amazing.
I'm gonna put that here. That's a good suggestion.
He has a
Okay.
bunch of minions.
Who's he?
Lakes Orthodontics.
Lakes Orthodontics, by where they're remodeling the new Starbucks, in that corner.
Yes.
Yeah, where that.
In the corner on the
that
back?
Used to be, next, close to that. time.
Oh.
Exactly.
I'll express you.
There's like a chiropractor there in that corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call that, I'm just thinking of titles already, so working on your business versus in your business, because that's what that is, working on your business. What do I want the experience to look like? Well, how do I want my customers to feel? What does that look like? What does that take? Okay,
you'd be a great speaker for that.
yeah. I'm putting here Melissa Alton. Setting. Up. Or legal shield, whatever, we can think of a name for that. Okay, and no, those are just I think those are 3 really good topics. That we can start with already. Think of a few others, in the month that we have off. Anything that comes to mind, just kind of like text yourself or something. And that's it. And then next month, we'll address, finalizing the venue. Maybe rounding out the speaker topics and the panel. We would still need a panel. So I think we need a room here for a panel on something.
Oh, we talking something like really
Lenders,
small business,
Mhm.
like, nonprofit
yep,
for the smaller type business.
okay, cool. And
There is
that,
a company that is Enterprise Florida, that is retired high-end executives that help people get your business started. Maybe somebody from that venue.
What's it called?
I think it's Enterprise Florida.
That's cool. And
Yeah.
We had him as a speaker here many years ago. We put a seminar and it was very poorly attended.
Oh, what a shame.
Many years ago, we
Okay.
did a lot of seminars and they were so poorly attended that it
Stop.
was very full. And that was one of them.
Enterprise
Yeah, but how-
I
Florida.
think it's called Enterprise
You
Florida.
happen to have a contact there by any chance?
I need to look. I lost a lot of the contacts and I had my folder.
Was. Selectflorida.org. For your
We can do it in
business.
business anymore.
Ideal business destination for your company's growth, stakeholder kit, business climate, workforce. It almost seems like like that local intel that we have here for Miami Lakes. It seems like that kind of webpage.
No,
Look into it. Maybe you
Interesting.
bring me-
Their offices are in Coral Gables. Let me see what they're about is. Select Florida is a partnership of businesses, government leaders, and economic development partners working together to improve the Florida economy. That's cool.
Mhm.
We can look more into this and talk more about it at the next meeting. Something that I will say, so that I think we can have more interaction with the speakers, because realistically, 15 minutes is a really small amount of time. Most speakers go over, and even though we buffer some time into that in the agenda, it's just not enough to accommodate a decent round of questions. We had 5 panels. We had 5 presenters and/or panels on the last one. I don't think it would hurt if we want to cut it down to 4. Even though it provides less opportunity and less topics, but I think it'll give more time. And even if we still tell the speaker 15 minutes, then it allows us to build in a whole other 15 minutes or so for either if the speaker goes over or actual questions. If we still want to keep the agenda from 9 to 12. Because the only other, that Doral one was how long? 1 hour. Oh, gosh.
8-minute
we had-
presentations.
You have some
It
real
was-
meeting.
It was from 9 to 9:45.
Mhm.
The thing is.
Or
that
an
we
open
only do it for
Q&A.
public comments. That's it.
Networking, whatever, 10:45, everybody get in the room, at 11, they start
That
their
already
presentation, 8 minutes apiece.
So I already passed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hour later, all of them were done.
They
And
can
then
still listen.
feel free to go
It's like-
outside and
And
ask
talk to
any of the
them.
presenters, whatever questions you have.
got it.
There was another open networking session outside for a
Mhm.
certain period of time, and then after that, they didn't do a happy hour, but
Mhm.
we do a happy hour, so.
Yeah.
Even though it sounds 9 to 12 a lot, it didn't feel a lot.
Because it was engaging, people liked it, they had a good time.
So if we can put more time, I think people would have stayed.
I know a lot of people had questions that we did not get to address.
Yes.
The finance
I
panel,
know.
or the HR
know.
panel, like people had questions and we weren't able, Tico had questions that we weren't able to address. Yeah, so, I would not be against cutting it down from 5 to 4. Even though 5 looks nicer on the agenda, but 4 realistically gives them more time to interact.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So just throwing that out.
I don't want to go over that because we short
Yeah.
of time, but because everything was very interesting.
Mhm,
So I was like, what would you cut?
mhm,
Plus we wanted to add
mhm,
the tax and the legal.
mhm.
Yeah, we gotta find out, because you also can't run it too long, because.
Yes.
I'm not saying that
People-
we increase the time that we give the speakers. We still give the speakers 15 minutes.
Okay.
But that, again, that just gives us time for people to ask questions to the speaker. If we have an extra 5 to 6 minutes bundled in at the end of the 15 minutes for questions, I mean, hey, the best thing that can happen is that we finish early. If we finish early, hey, happy hours right now,
Yeah.
at Cello's or
Or maybe
whatever.
we reduce the times of registration and the breakfast and stuff like that, and we
That's probably one of our biggest things is we never start on time. I mean, that happens a lot, but the time that it takes, it's a problem both ways. It's because people don't show up on time, so then we delay starting, so we have a fuller room. So it doesn't look bad, We end up by the middle of the first session having a good amount of people, but always in that beginning, it's rough. I don't know if we want to consider maybe moving it back to 10 AM or something like that instead of the original start time.
The thing is gonna happen the same.
Yeah, same thing's gonna happen.
Okay.
People are gonna get there 10 minutes after 10.
Because I mean, we start at 10,
would
see
tell
how it's
you
not even that
start
early.
Open registration at 9
Mhm.
and then start the presentations at 10 and give people an hour.
So we do the welcome and
Training.
introduction at 9:45.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
I like
that's the way
that.
to go.
Okay, so we'll do that. So welcome and introduction at 9:45.
There you go.
First meeting, first presentation at 10.
Music. Call the meeting. Well,
Sorry,
we need to call the meeting.
whenever you do.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Second.
You might always